You are standing in your kitchen, staring at a brand new dishwasher that cost you $1,200. 6 months in, it is making a sound like a cat in a cage during the spin cycle. Water pools under the door. You call a repair tech. He arrives. He sighs. The circuit board is corroded. The drain pump failed. Total repair, $800, plus the weight. Now, here is what most people do not know about that moment. That dishwasher was built to fail. Not all of them are. I have been diagnosing appliances for 18 years, and I have only installed one machine in my own home. My father was a technician before me. He installed the same one. I want to show you exactly why we both chose Bosch, and what the other 32 brands are doing that makes them disappear in 7 years. You are shopping for your first real dishwasher. Budget is real, but you are tired of hand washing. By the end of this chapter, you will know the 3 checks I use to spot a machine that lasts 15 years instead of 8. Stay with me, because near the end, I will show you the one mineral Bosch uses that competitors claim does not exist. The Bosch 800 series is the most installed dishwasher in technician homes in America. There is a reason. Turn it over. Look at the factory stamp on the base. New Bern, North Carolina. Made in the U.S. This matters. The German parent company, BSH, opened that factory in 2016 specifically to build machines that do not need us. A stainless steel tub, not plastic. European-style latch. A pump system with 2 separate motors, not one. If the drain pump fails, the wash pump keeps working. One failure does not cascade. Here is what I do first. I check where the control board lives. In most brands, it is bolted to the bottom, under the spray arms, drowning in steam every cycle. In the Bosch, the control board is in the door. Dry, safe. It sees 14 years instead of 5. Now, the water. The 800 series uses 3.5 gallons per cycle. Your old machine used 8. That is, less water, less energy, and a soil sensor that actually thinks. It reads how dirty the water is and adjusts the cycle on its own. Lightly soiled load, 40 minutes. Done. You save money, and the machine stays simple. The third rack is the trick most people miss. Bosch calls it My Way. It slides, tilts, folds. It holds cereal bowls, utensils, tall wine glasses. 30% more capacity. No rearranging. No pile of wet dishes on the counter tomorrow. But there is one more thing, and this is where Bosch separates itself from every other premium brand in the market. Stay close, because when we move to Miele in the next chapter, you will see what happens when a machine costs 3 times as much. So, the Bosch handles the basics, and that is not small. But now let me show you what happens when a manufacturer decides to engineer for 20 years instead of 8. You are standing in a German factory in Herzebrock, founded in 1899 by Carl Miele and Reinhard Zinkan, where the motto on the wall still reads, Immer besser, forever better. Every G7000 they build here is tested to 10,000 operating cycles before it ships. That is 20 years of average household use, right there on the bench. Most brands test to maybe 7,000. Miele tests 20. Now here is where it matters for your wallet. A $500 machine failing in year 6 costs you a $1,000 replacement plus installation labor. A $6,000 Miele lasting 20 years costs you $300 per year, all told. The math is not mysterious once you sit with it. Inside that German tub is a thick stainless steel single-piece casting that holds heat like a brick oven holds warmth. The spray arms are modeled in fluid dynamic software, every nozzle drilled to a tolerance you cannot see. The pump motor is built in-house, not shipped from a contract supplier like everybody else does. Here is where repair techs like me run into the real problem. I cannot profit from owning one. A service call costs me $300 to $600 in labor alone, and the Miele barely breaks. I have owned the same G7000 for 8 years and never called a technician once. Most machines in that price range would have needed me by year 3. The door opens itself an inch at cycle end, auto open, and air dries without a heating element, so the plastics last instead of warping. Inside is the auto DOS system, a cartridge that doses detergent automatically, one precise dose per wash, no user error, no waste. That cartridge lasts 20 cycles and comes from Miele only, so you live with their ecosystem. The parts I do need take 2 to 4 weeks to arrive because Miele controls the supply chain tightly. And that is the trade. Premium engineering, premium sourcing, premium reliability, premium wait times. But now I need to show you something else entirely. A machine that costs nearly nothing and refuses to die anyway. That is where the real industry secret lives. Now, the counterintuitive move. The machine that costs nearly nothing, yet refuses to fail. I am talking about the Frigidaire Professional, and I install it quietly. Not in my home. In rentals, in flips, in places where I need 0 service calls. Frigidaire was founded in 1918 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as Guardian Refrigerator. General Motors bought it in 1919 and renamed it Frigidaire. That lineage matters because it means American engineering for American water, American kitchens, American problems. The Professional Series retails between $700 and $1,100, positioned well below Miele or the Bosch 800. Here is what most people miss about a bare-bones machine. Simplicity is durability. The Frigidaire uses a resistance heating element on the tub floor for drying. Less efficient than condensation drying, yes, but plastics actually dry. They sit there, dry. The motor and pump are direct drive, straightforward to diagnose, straightforward to replace. No proprietary sensors locked into a board that costs $400 and takes 6 weeks to arrive. When a circulation pump fails, and it will, I call my parts supplier and pick it up tomorrow. Parts live at Repair Clinic, Encompass. Every local house in my region stocks them. The control board is simple enough that fewer error codes means fewer lockouts. You do not get a machine that refuses to run because it cannot read a sensor it cannot replace. The tub is stainless steel. The third rack is full width. The soil sensor works as promised. The spray arms are a 2-arm design, less prone to clog than multi-zone European systems. Replacement spray arms cost $35. They are in stock everywhere. The door latch fails predictably. The float switch fails predictably. The pump fails predictably. I know exactly what will break and when. I can stock the parts in my van. Electrolux owns Frigidaire now, bought it in 1986, and that Swedish parent means global supply chain. But the machine is engineered for North America. 120 volts, standard 3/8-inch water inlet. No adapters. Installation is straightforward. Repair documentation exists and is clear. A landlord installs one of these in a rental, and the machine runs for 12, 14 years. Rent income flows. No service calls. No $800 emergency repairs at 10 p.m. That is why techs install it quietly. It puts us out of business. But here is where the story turns. The other 32 brands are engineered the opposite way. They are built to fail, and they are built to fail expensively. That is what separates the machines you can trust from the ones you replace. Now, with those 3 machines locked into your mind, here is where it gets interesting. I promised you at the start that I would show you why the other 32 brands fail. Not from bad luck, from engineering decisions made by people sitting in cost meetings. LG and Samsung are electronics companies. Dishwashers are a side business for them. They apply their phone and TV playbooks, control boards packed with complexity, proprietary parts, software timers. A single PCB failure costs you $150 to $400. A single part failure, not repairable. I have measured it. After 8 years, a Samsung control board costs more than the machine's trade-in value. Meanwhile, Bosch and Miele separate that board into the door. It stays dry. It lasts. Here is the secret I teased you on. The material difference is stainless versus plastic. Every brand I recommended uses a stainless steel tub. Every brand I did not uses plastic. Plastic tubs crack under thermal shock. Plastic spray arms become brittle. Plastic latches stress fracture in 3 years. In one brand I serviced, the wash arm hub wore loose after 2 years. Loose hub means poor wash. The owner thought the machine was failing. It was not. It was engineered to seem failing. The door gasket on LG and Samsung machines hardens within 5 years. Proprietary geometry, $80 part. On Bosch, it is a standard gasket. Any appliance supplier stocks it, $12. The water inlet valve on a budget machine, proprietary connector, cannot use a standard part. On a real machine, 3 of them are interchangeable. Techs carry them in the truck. Whirlpool owns Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. One control board design serves all 3 brand names. One design flaw means 3 brand names fail simultaneously. I have watched it happen. Parts availability windows. Samsung discontinues support in 5 to 6 years. Bosch, 14 years or more. Call any appliance supplier and ask for a 2018 Samsung door latch. Watch how long the silence is. The economic repair threshold is when repair cost exceeds 50% of replacement cost. On an LG machine, that threshold arrives in year 6. On a Bosch, year 13. Here is what this means for you. Before you buy, flick the model number and call a local tech. Ask them one question. Can you get a control board for this machine right now? A door gasket? A pump motor? If they hesitate, the manufacturer has already decided when your dishwasher will stop being your problem. If they say yes, you have bought a machine, not a timer counting down to landfill. The 3 machines I use and install are machines. The rest are planned appointments with replacement. So, I have a simple question for you. What brand are you standing in front of right now? Or, what machine did you buy, and how long did it last? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know what happened in your home. Because you deserve to know the difference between a tool that serves you and a contract that expires.